Hello everyone! My name is Erica, and if you are new here, I am a tarot reader and into spirituality in order to learn, gain knowledge, and spread that knowledge to other people in order to help myself and everybody else who watches me live their life to the fullest. If you aren't new here, then I'm going to get started right away in quoting Alan Watts. And if, again, you know me, I quote Alan Watts all the time. And this quote specifically is that you do not have to be the same person that you were 5 minutes ago. I always say this, but I understand that it's actually difficult to comprehend what this means and how to actually achieve it. So this video is all about how to change your life in 5 minutes, change yourself in 5 minutes, and self-reset in order to reboot your subconscious to feel refreshed, to feel motivated, and to feel like you've just been on a vacation without actually needing to spend money on one. And I'm going to share 3 ways on how you can achieve this 5-minute self-reset. But before getting started, there's a couple of things to remember. That number 1, do not rush. Ever. Do not let your world, do not let your life, do not let the universe rush you and be outside of where you are right now. The more pressure you put on yourself to be somewhere or be someone other than the you right now, the less you will relax and give yourself a break. It defeats the whole purpose of relaxing because you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, and you're not staying in the now. Also, trying to take a break defeats the purpose of it. You are thinking too much about it, and you need to turn off and distract instead of thinking about needing a break. Because again, that adds extra pressure, that adds you rushing, that adds the whole idea of if I don't have a break within these 5 minutes, I'm never going to feel refreshed, and then I'm never going to have time for anything. And that just sets off the spiral of, again, not being able to relax. And number 2, move into a reset. You can't just think your way into it. The more you think, the more you feel stuck. And this idea comes from the fact that you have several different pathways that you could be taking right now. But when you stop and overthink things, you don't take any of those paths. And it's better for you to move forward and do something and understand that that path is not for you than it is to consistently sit back and overthink. So you have to move into a reset. With that being said, tip number 1, physical reboot. Again, the whole importance of moving. The importance of moving energy is that if you feel stuck or tired, you need to move that because that is simply trapped energy. You are stuck with yourself, you are stuck in your head, you are stuck in this consistent loop, potentially even routine that isn't serving you anymore. And you can do something as small as dancing, singing, writing, drawing, and poorly to confuse your ego. That's step number 2. I'll go into that in more detail. Or it could be something as big as joining a sport or a club, or actually going on vacation if you have the capacity for that. Because you know that when you go on vacation, you turn your brain off. And that brain off moment literally changes the neuroplasticity of your brain. I will go into that a little bit more later too, if you're into that nerdy conversation of science. But doing those things actually physically resets the way that your brain is powered to make you feel more rested and more relaxed. So again, in terms of moving, stretch, pace, walk, do something small. The importance here is to drop the tension, drop the need to be perfect, and be productive, because that is exactly what is going to reset your brain. The less that you think about it, the more that it is going to be beneficial for you. And even then, if you have energy that has been building up, like stress and tension and anger and sadness, it is okay to also release that. Be in a controlled, destructive setting. Scream, rage, punch a pillow, go to a range room, cry, let that energy out any way you need to. You are safe, you are secure, and it's okay. It is important. We are human. We are going to feel things even if we don't like it. And it's important to let that energy move past, because the more that we suppress it, the less that we can relax, and the more pressure that we put on ourselves to think a certain way or to feel a certain way. And in order to actually feel the way that you want to feel and be as refreshed as you want to feel, you have to move the energy that is stopping you. So going back to the being destructive in a controlled setting, burn something. Write a letter to yourself of all the things that are keeping you anchored and all the things that are forcing you to be tired and tense. Burn it. Obviously, stay safe in a controlled setting. Also breaking something, taking a plate that you hate, putting it in a bag that's going to be better for cleaning up, and going outside and freaking smashing it to the ground with full force. That is also going to release that tense energy. And please remember that even if circumstances don't change, you can. Moving and momentum is the key here. The more you think and overthink, the less you move and the more you get stuck. Number 2, pattern interruption. Literally rewiring your brain by stepping out of your routine. You have to show your brain that there is more to life than what it does on a day-to-day basis, which is wake up, work, eat, sleep, and repeat. There is more to life than that, and you have to remind it. That is why going on vacation helps you, because it keeps your brain interested in the things that are happening. Stepping out of your routine literally changes the way that your brain functions. It changes the neuroplasticity of the routing of your brain, the way that the electrical units control everything that is happening in your mind. And this happens because you shift your brain from autopilot to the present when you force your brain to do something different, because now it has to think. It can't be in the same routine. It can't be an autopilot. And this forces your prefrontal cortex to take the wheel and do something different. And that changes the chemicals in your brain to make you feel differently. And that also means that you have new spaces to create something new. So, how can you pattern interrupt? 1, change your surroundings. Change yourself a little bit. This could mean dressing up just because. It's just going to be a way for you to do something and to move that energy, for you to feel a little bit differently. If you wear the same uniform over and over again to work, maybe putting on an extra accessory that might gain some attention, that's going to help you shift your brain a little bit. If you work from home in your PJs, try to dress up. Do your makeup to work that day, or maybe even during your lunch break, just go to the bathroom and do something pretty with yourself. That's going to make you feel good. That's going to make you feel a little bit different. In terms of changing your surroundings, you can also just set the vibe and put the feel on of where you are going to feel good. This could be searching up on YouTube ocean sounds. This could be you downloading the lo-fi Spirit City sessions that I always recommend. I'll link it below as well if that's something that you're interested in. This could mean putting on some bird calls for you to feel like you were outside. This could mean literally going outside and working outside, or taking a break outside, going to touch some grass, especially if that's not in your everyday routine. This could, again, mean going on vacation if you have the means to do that. Even a couple of days off is going to reset your brain to do something and feel something different. You can also just get out of your everyday routine physically. Go to a different coffee shop before work instead of going to the same one that you always go to, where you see the same people, where your brain just knows what to say and what to do, and it doesn't have to think for itself. You can take the day off from work and do something for yourself. Go read a book on a beach. Go relax, like actually physically force yourself to relax. You can take yourself out on a date. Make it romantic, make it slow, make it intentional. That is also a big part of this. And that directly brings me into number 3, the ritualistic break, which also comes with intention setting. Start and end your day with intention. This is a little bit more forward-looking than just changing yourself in 5 minutes, but maybe setting a to-do list or setting the proper intentions can help you change within the next 5 minutes, because it gives you something to look forward to. And what intention setting really means is that you are going to do something for yourself. You're going to be intentional and slow and not rush yourself to do the things that you need to do. Intention setting means not doom scrolling before bed or the moment that you wake up, because that, first of all, could be based on routine, and that activates your brain into being tired automatically because it gets bored of the same thing happening over and over again. But this is also going to force you to do something for yourself, something that is going to actually be healthy for you, that is not just simply doom scrolling. So this could be you journaling before bed and journaling in the mornings. This could be you drinking water instead of drinking coffee first thing in the morning, which, never say no to coffee, but drinking water first can help activate your brain a little bit more, because again, it's something different. This could mean exercising, stretching right before bed and right in the morning when you wake up. This also means not lolling around in bed and actually getting up to do something. But intention setting has to occur with the fact that you want to do something. You have to find things that are going to keep you up, that are going to keep you motivated to get up in the morning. So that's something to consider as well, that looking forward to something. And this kind of encompasses everything that we've discussed here, because if you get out of your routine, if you have something that you're looking forward to doing, like getting a new book or going to a coffee shop that you've never been to before, it is going to keep your brain excited and motivated to try something new and do something new and feel rested enough to be able to do something that is going to actually excite it. Excitement and intention are going to allow your brain to feel better. But going outside of doing something that's not within the 5-minute frame, you can also set a 5-minute reset timer. And do one thing badly with no thinking, because that is the whole point. Your brain gets tired of either being on autopilot with lack of thinking because it's not excited anymore, or you are thinking too hard about doing something different to allow your brain to change the neuroplasticity that we've discussed earlier. That is going to happen with intention setting. That is going to happen with doing something new. That is going to happen with actually feeling rested by shocking your brain into getting off of autopilot. That is the biggest thing here. Another thing about intention setting is getting off your phone. If you are the type of person that the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning is doom scroll, your brain gets tired, your brain gets bored, but also your brain relies on you getting information quickly and productively and doing something productive, because our brains are not meant to have so much information at the tip of our fingertips, but we do. And because of that, we always feel like we need to rush. We always feel like we need a hit of dopamine, and we never know how to slow down and how to be intentional and how to be deliberate about the things that we are doing in the present moment. We focus too much on the past. We focus too much on the future. We focus too much on being productive. We focus too much on having a hit of serotonin from random videos that don't matter. And we aren't allowing ourselves to be human. We aren't allowing ourselves to slow down and feel like we can be here safely. And that's why we always feel tired. That's why we always feel like we need to rush to be somewhere and be something that we are not. And that is why getting off your phone, setting intentions, and turning your brain off, moving enough to turn your brain off, is going to be the thing that helps you feel rested. The thing about the yoga practice is that, yes, movement is important for you to feel good in your body, but that is not the most important part. The most important part of a yoga session is the end, where you meditate in corpse pose. And the reason why we move is to quiet our brains down, because we tire ourselves out by standing in these poses and these positions to the point that we have no other choice but to rest and relax and not think about anything. And that is kind of what you have to take a look at here, is that you're moving your body with all of the things that we've talked about here. You're moving your body, you're setting the proper intentions, you're turning your brain off in order to be able to just sit still for 5 minutes. That is the whole point of the 5-minute reset, is doing something to turn your brain off, to do something differently, and then to eventually change the literal makeup of the way that your brain works. And the only way to do that is by being intentional, being slow, and doing something that actually excites you. Get out of your routine, do something new, and watch yourself have a lot more energy the more that you actually exert it. Because your brain is actually going to be excited to see something new, to experience something new, to feel something new, and to finally feel like there is a purpose to it all. You got this.